Today I'm going to be showing you how to make French bread with a little bit of help from your Instant Pot. Hi, I'm Karen Peterson and I own the website 365daysofcrockpot.com. Here on YouTube, I share Instant Pot stuff with you every week. Today I'm going to be sharing with you something a little bit different. It's making French bread, an easy French bread recipe, I should say. Because bread, whenever I hear that word, make bread, it makes me instantly intimidated. But today I'm going to be showing you an easy French bread recipe and how I incorporate the use of my Instant Pot when I do that recipe. The first thing that you want to do is get your stand mixer ready with your dough hook attached to it. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a large bowl and just use a wooden spoon and stir, just the old-fashioned way. That will definitely work. Now, I'm going to add in 2 cups plus 1/4, so 2 1/4 cups of hot water, and then I'm going to add in a tablespoon of yeast. Now I'm using this kind of yeast. It's the instant yeast, and you can also use the kind that's not instant, the active dry yeast. That will work as well. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now if you're not using instant yeast, you're going to need to wait right here and let the yeast activate, just meaning you're letting it sit there for 3 minutes and it will start getting really bubbly. Now, if you're using instant yeast, you don't need to wait. You can go to the next step, which is adding in some salt. And I'm gonna do, this might seem a lot, but almost a whole tablespoon, just a little bit less than a whole tablespoon right there of salt. And then a couple tablespoons of oil, and I'm using canola oil today. You can use a different kind of oil. And then I'm going to start by adding 2 cups of flour in. And it doesn't need to be exact because this recipe is one of those recipes where you just kind of look at how much flour is in there and add it by sight rather than by a certain number. Okay, I'm going to add the lid on, put the lid on tight, and I'm going to just mix it. So that was just 10-15 seconds of just an initial mix. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some flour, and we're going to add in between 3 and 4 more cups of flour. You'll know how much flour you need when the dough starts clearing the sides of the bowl and it's not as sticky. Not sticky to the sides and not sticky to the middle of your mixer. So I'm going to turn on my mixer. You won't be able to hear me, but you'll be able to see what's happening. You can see that it's pretty much cleared the sides of the bowl and the middle portion of the bowl. And so that means you have enough flour, and we're going to mix this for 2 minutes. And then this is the part that the Instant Pot comes into play. If you have a yogurt button on your Instant Pot, then you can use this method. If not, you can just let the bread raise on your counter. But basically you're going to just spray with a little bit of cooking spray, and then take this dough and put it into your Instant Pot. And we're going to use our Instant Pot yogurt function to help the bread raise just a little bit quicker than it would on its own. Oh, it's pretty sticky actually. It's fine though. It's going to come out delicious in the end. But until then, it might be a little sticky on your hands. Yeah. All right. Put that in. You're going to push your yogurt button, and then you'll push it again until it says the 24 hours and it's on less. And this is a very low heat, which is perfect for proofing bread. So we're not going to use the lid for this because we don't want the lid to get stuck on there if the bread raises so high that it pushes the pressure valve up all the way. So what I'm going to do is just cover it with just a plate or a glass lid you can use. And we're going to let this raise for 30 minutes in your Instant Pot. If you're just doing it on your counter, it's going to take about 60 minutes. So we're going to form it into loaves. Just put a little flour down, or you can do it on a greased surface. And get the dough out. And we're gonna divide it in half. I'm just gonna eyeball it. You will do one at a time. We're gonna make 2 loaves. That's the fun thing about this recipe is it makes 2 loaves. You can have 2 for your family, or you can make 1 for you and give 1 away. And you're gonna just kind of press it out with your hands. You don't even need a rolling pin. Once you get it to a rectangle, you can just roll it up, kind of press it down as you go with the heels of your hands. There we go. And then the seam side, you can kind of just pinch it together with your thumbs, and that will go down on the bottom of your baking pan. It doesn't look perfect, but that's kind of the fun thing about this bread is that you don't do it in a loaf pan. You just place it on a cooking sheet, a baking sheet, and it's fine. So this baking sheet is my favorite. It's the USA pans. I will put a link to it in the notes below. I definitely think it's worth having in your arsenal. You don't have to put any baking spray or parchment on it, and it doesn't stick, and it doesn't warp. It's amazing. It's the best pan I've ever had for baking cookies. I bake cookies on it all the time. All right, so then we'll repeat that process with the second piece of dough here. I just like to put a little bit of oil on top. This is olive oil. Just kind of rub it, gives it nice glossy finish instead of the floury finish. That's just what I like to do though. You can do whatever you like. At this point, you can take a serrated knife and you can just gently kind of just slash it like that. And I like to do about four little slashes per loaf. And I'm just not even, just as light as a feather, not even really pushing down at all. I'm going to cover this up with a towel. I'm going to let this rise on my counter for an hour. All right, it's been just over an hour and look how good they look. We're going to put these in the oven. Have it at 375, and I'm going to put them in for 25 minutes, but I'm going to rotate them halfway through. All right, we have our beautiful French bread here. Let's cut into it and have a slice with butter and honey. I cannot wait. Doesn't that look so good? I bet you guys are drooling at home right now. I know I am. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will be back with another Instant Pot something for you next week. Bye-bye.